Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Hello and welcome to WrestleRamble. This is Luke Owen, I'm Ollie Davis, and today we're going to be going through our predictions for this Sunday's Money in the Bank show. And we're also going to be talking about what some are calling the best match of all time again, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega from New Japan's Dominion show last Sunday. If you want to go straight to those discussion points, click the links in the video description below or stay right here for some ramble chat. Or let's just go straight into the Money in the Bank.
Let's do the Money in the Bank predictions.
Money in the Bank. Money,
money, money, money, money. Difference to Shane McMahon's introduction music or his entrance music.
Do you think this is
Dala dala, dala dala.
Yeah, if you just go on to Vince McMahon's iPod, I reckon he still has an iPod, one of the block ones from the noughties. It's just
got a cassette player, mate.
Loads and loads, mini disc, loads and loads of songs with money in the title.
Yeah, totally.
Money, money, money.
Yeah,
money, money, money.
He's just he loves it.
The current band, the new Jim Johnson, who takes over the producing duo that do most of the entrance music, is CFO Money.
They have a $sign in their name.
Who was the wrestling character most closely based on Vince McMahon's own persona? Ted DiBiase.
I was about to say IRS, but that's the person he hates the most.
Yeah.
I would actually say that, is it CFO? Is that what they're called? CFO?
CFO Money.
CFO Money. They're doing some great stuff at the moment, particularly down in NXT. Alistair Black's entrance music.
Ooh,
they got another band to come in and kind of work with them, but damn, that's a great entrance music.
Yeah.
I love Drew's, despite the fact it's got bagpipes in it, and I think they're the worst instrument in the entire history of mankind. Everyone's got really great entrance music at the moment.
We have entered a new era of great anthology albums.
Yes.
Volume 12, I don't know what they're up to these
WWF,
days.
The Music, Volume 4.
3.
Did you have Volume
3 was the one with the Rock and the Pie song at the end?
Oh, yes, which does not hold up.
I haven't listened to it recently.
Oh, it's well racist.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, do you remember the racist bit right at the end?
No.
When he says that he goes into the woman's house because they've got pie, and he's like, and to my surprise, there was a Chinaman there. So A, can't really say that, but B, then he starts going ting tong 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 tong. Like it's like Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man.
Wow.
When you're watching it 20 years later, and you're like, it's like ha, ha, ting tong tong, and you're like, dude, you can't do that now.
What was the Chinaman doing there, though?
I don't. It was so Rock used to do it all the time.
Rock just said it so he could.
Rock loves doing. He used to do it all the time. That was like his attitude to promos. He used to like do that sort of stuff. He thought it was hilarious. He thought that and transsexuals were hilarious.
He's probably talking about he's working through his own insecurities there. We won't get on to a debate over what is a racist impression and what isn't. But if I did an impression of you constantly do Finn Balor's Irish.
Yeah, but that's not really racist, though, is it? That's how
if you're just doing a Chinese accent, which is what Paul Rocky was doing.
If I was to be like racist, I'd be like doing, I'm Jerry Adams, I'm going to put a bomb under your bed, and like that, and saying like
that's the content.
That's what all Irish accents are.
The sound of the impression is quite different.
No,
anyway,
that album also had Raven's entrance music on it, which was top notch.
Which one had Taz's in? Boom.
Boom. I would imagine it was the same one.
Yeah. When they all joined at the same time. Very good. Yeah. Anyway, Money in the Bank. That was Ramble Chat.
It was Ramble.
When we just said, let's go straight into it.
Are you going to put the video description bit here?
Yes, this is where it will link.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank predictions. You didn't miss anything if you click the video link description. First up, I've got Naomi, the champion, defending against a kind of re-debut of Lana. This is her main roster second match of all time, despite what Luke will tell you, because she did compete at WrestleMania 31, 32?
Yeah.
32, I think.
Yeah, no one knows.
And yes, Lana's new gimmick, she came out on top of a match she wasn't even in on Tuesday's SmackDown show, laying out Naomi with a barefoot bomb. Should we call it a barefoot bomb?
Okay, let's go with that. Yeah.
What seems to be a finisher.
Creepy subreddits.
Who are you going for?
I'm actually going Lana.
No,
I
really?
think that they're really pushing this idea that she's an undeserving champion. She shouldn't have had this opportunity. And I think they're going to do the Jinder spot with Lana, where she's also going to win the women's championship. They were talking about on Bring It to the Table again, being like a woman who's never wrestled before. And actually, do you know what? Funny enough, on Bring It to the Table, they talked about the genuine animosity amongst the women backstage that Lana's being put into this position. At least according to Bring It to the Table, where it's this weird.
It's kayfabe. I think that's kayfabe. She seems pretty friendly with everyone backstage.
Well, that's what I'd have thought, yeah. But I'm going CJ Perry. I think that Lana is winning the title here.
That's a good point. I mean, I had Naomi written down here, but you don't want to beat Lana in her first match, and you've almost got that Goldberg out of she can beat Naomi. The two ways to get Lana over now is for her to just win a normal 5-minute match, and everyone's like, oh my god, Lana won. Or she loses in a wrestling classic of 15 minutes and she proves herself through that. I don't think it's going to be that.
No, I actually predict this match might be a bit of a train wreck. I've heard that Lana is working very hard, but I don't think it's going to be a 5-star classic. But are you going Lana as well?
I'm also going Lana because I think...
I've made you change your mind.
I'm thinking about it more now. I think that WWE management, the way they are, your Kevin Dunn's, your Vince McMahon's, they see Lana as what they... If it was up to them, this is what women wrestlers, how they would act and how they would look.
Lana was part of the Divas division in 2006, she'd be Divas champion and be on Raw every single week.
Vince doesn't really want a women's division like he's got now. It's just something he's putting up with. He's like, I don't understand it, but the kids seem to like it.
Stephanie's demanding it, I would have thought.
But like he's like, Lana, I can understand Lana. So yes, we're both going Lana there. Yeah. Next up, we've got another women's division match, which is the first ever women's Money in the Bank match.
About damn time. I wish they'd also done the women's Royal Rumble this year. I think they could have done a 15-person Royal Rumble.
I guess so. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad shout, I suppose.
I think they'll definitely do one next year.
I almost wish it can't really happen now. They've moved Survivor Series into the Big Four slot, but Money in the Bank.
It's always been part of the Big Four slot.
Well, I know, but it dropped off the face of the planet for a while.
They were talking about dropping it on an investor's call.
And Money in the Bank was like a prestige. They had a spectacular run of a few years. But if this was pre-Bland Split, there's one.
No, Bland Split. Hashtag Bland Split.
Swaft. If this was pre-Brand Split and you had Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Natalya, Naomi, Bayley, and Sasha Banks.
Yeah, maybe great.
But you've got Tamina and Carmella in here, who are, fine, but they're not the best in the ring. Nope. And if they're around the ladder, that worries me.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't go crazy.
But who are you going with in this?
So I've got down Charlotte or Becky Lynch here. Are you waiting for me to say...
No, I will give you my prediction.
No, you went first on the last one.
Okay, fair enough.
So I am saying Carmella. I'm changing both. Oh, but you can't have They wouldn't have Carmella and Lana at the same time, would they? But maybe Carmella would hold it for ages. I'm going Carmella. I think they're going to... But it's the first women's Money in the Bank match. I'm thinking out loud here.
You are thinking out loud here.
I'm going Carmella. Okay. I'm going Carmella.
I'm also going Carmella.
Oh,
I've said from the very start since they announced this, or actually before we even predicted that they were going to do the Women's Money in the Bank, I said I think that Carmella will win it. Again, because everyone underestimates her and they think that she's the undeserving holder of it. And I think that Carmella and James Ellsworth holding that Money in the Bank briefcase will be... That will be really funny. And that will be really entertaining.
And he's just there to hold the handbag.
Exactly, and it'll be a way for Carmella to backdoor her way into a title run. And I think that makes for really great television.
Yes. Okay.
Because so here's some booking for you. Imagine Lana does win the belts which I'm predicting on Sunday, and then her and Naomi go into a program. Right, and then Naomi finally wins the belt back at SummerSlam, the belt that she's deserving of, the belt that she really owns. And then Carmella cashes in Money in the Bank, and she steals the title off of her.
That'd be nice.
That'd be great. And then Naomi's like, why do all of these undeserving women keep stealing my title away from me?
Because it was Alexa Bliss before WrestleMania.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss was deserving. She's awesome.
It's a shame Becky Lynch gets lost in the shuffle a lot here because she is terrific.
So good. I mean, everyone goes on about Charlotte, and I agree because Charlotte's amazing. But for me, pound for pound, I think Becky Lynch is the best women's wrestler they have on that entire roster. I think she is fantastic.
And as good as Charlotte is interacting with a live crowd, I think Becky's the best on the mic.
Absolutely.
They've got.
Yeah, she took acting classes.
Did she really?
She did,
Oh,
yeah.
I can definitely see that.
Before getting into wrestling, because she thought it was going to be a really important part to develop her character.
More people should do that who go into wrestling. Tag team titles, the Usos versus the New Day.
I'm going with the Usos on this one.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
So it's not the right time for the New Day to get the championship belts. They can draw out this feud a bit more. The Usos are awesome.
So good.
They're doing really well on the mic.
Yeah.
We have the same opinion, I guess.
I'm good. Yeah. So at the moment we're 3 for 3 on the same predictions, which is doesn't exactly make for the most interesting of challenges.
And it's not a big card because you've got these 2 multi-person matches. There's only 5 matches.
I think I'm predicting there's going to be a segment when the Fashion Police are going to come out and announce that who attacked them backstage, and that will lead to an impromptu match between the Fashion Police and American Alpha.
So I've read it's American Alpha.
That's what I think it will be. Yeah, an American Alpha heel turn. Yeah,
it has to be.
Has to be. Yeah.
I mean, I think they could do the goofy heel stuff really well.
They don't need to be goofy heels either. They could be Steiners, mate.
I know what you mean, but if I was to do them, Kurt Angle's first year in the company. That sort of goofy heel.
Yeah. No, because Kurt Angle's first year in the company was just like, well, I'm an Olympic hero. You should cheer me because I'm brilliant.
Yeah. Maybe the year after then. You know the year I'm talking about.
Yeah. Where he's wearing a cowboy hat and things like that. Yeah.
But that would just be Gable because Jordan can actually be the muscle. Yeah. He wouldn't act like that. So the men's Money in the Bank match.
I've just seen who you've noted down here.
It's not yours.
That's what I was going
to what are we going to have completely the same? Men's Money in the Bank match. Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura. Did I miss anyone?
Yeah, Sami
Zayn.
Yeah, so do you want to discuss through? Because unfortunately I do agree with you.
Yeah, well, I have put down here Baron Corbin.
I also think it is Baz Corbs is getting the big win here. He took the pinfall on this week's show. He actually lost last week as well. I think that is
No, he didn't lose last week. Did he lose last week? But I know he stood tall at the end of the show last week.
Yes, because he beat up Shinsuke.
Nakamura,
yeah, but they were putting over on commentary that it's now twice that Sami Zayn has pinned him.
Yeah.
And I think that so Baron Corbin winning it, and then he can go into another program with Sami, where Sami is trying to win the Money in the Bank briefcase off
of him. I hate when they do that.
Because he's like, I pinned you twice on TV in the last few weeks, so I think I'm deserving of that Money in the Bank briefcase.
But Baron wouldn't put that up.
Baron. Yeah, but me and Baron were receding hairline brothers. Like we were on the same wavelength, so I think that me and Baz know what's up, and Baz will be just like, "Yeah, no, I can put the title on."
He wouldn't do that. That doesn't fit in his character at all.
He's a total dweeb. He's an indie dork, and he's better than him. He walked into this job,
so he's not even worth the time. I'm moved on from you now, Sami.
No, I think they're going to have another program.
I hope they do move on because, geez, that's been going for a while as well.
Yeah, this is like when Sami was feuding with Braun Strowman for what felt like 6 months.
Yeah, and Corbin and Ziggler, when Ziggler was a face last year.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, that did, didn't it? Yeah.
So we're both going Bazza.
I'm going Baz Corbs.
I've got another prediction I've written down here. We're going to talk about it soon, but the Okada Omega match, the second one, which of course happened on Sunday, we don't know what we think about that. We haven't told each other. I watched it yesterday. You watched it earlier today.
Did indeed.
So we're going to unleash our thoughts shortly. But because of that match, I think AJ and Nakamura will have a fire under their ass for this match.
I disagree.
Ooh.
I think that AJ will be his usual best. I think that Shinsuke will play the Randy Orton card and play it safe. In a ladder match at his age, where he's trying to take things lighter now, I think in this environment he'll be very sensible with what he does, and then he'll save his A-game matches for something like SummerSlam.
A big singles match there.
Yeah, like a SummerSlam or WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, I can see that happening as well. So you don't think there's any chance of Shinsuke, I think it would be good from a great rookie year perspective. of Shinsuke coming in and he's undefeated and he wins the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I would love that, but I don't think that's the way they're going to go. Personally, I don't think that's the way they're going to go. But and here's the thing as well. When I say that he's taking the leaf out of the Randy Orton playbook and just phoning it in, when Randy Orton phones it in, it's boring. It's just headlocks, mate. But when Shinsuke phones it in, it's still awesome and he's still fantastic.
So for the main event, I think we're gonna predict the exact same.
Yeah, we're going Jinder, right?
We're both going with Jinder.
Yeah,
so Jinder Mahal defending his championship against Randy Orton in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis.
Yeah, so this will be a very uneventful results next week because we'll have the exact same results.
Well, if Randy Orton wins, though...
Oh, we're not doing a results show anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we're not here next... I should probably say that. We're not here next week, no WrestleRamble, because I'm off to Glastonbury, a music festival on Wednesday. So there'll be a brief hiatus of just 1 week. But there's a bunch of
stuff going up.
2017 So Far awards coming up in our place.
Bunch of videos going up.
But with me and Luke talking about our top fives. Yeah. Loads. More, actually, than you'd usually get. So be thankful.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Randy Orton wins, hey-oh, John Cena's returning. Uh-oh, that's a good feud.
Nah, oh no, jeez, don't even joke about it.
God, can you imagine? So, how do you think the Orton family will play into this at all?
I don't know if they will. Maybe they will. I don't know. Like, but the thing is, like, I thought they would do that with Bayley's dad, but they didn't. So, you're right. They have been mentioning Bob Orton's name a lot on TV, so it would make sense, I suppose, if Bobbles is there. But I don't know, mate.
What do you think? Let us know in the predictions below. The predictions. That's not what it's called.
No.
Put your predictions in the comments below. Okay, so neither of us have talked about Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega, the second match from New Japan's Dominion show from last Sunday. Neither of us know what each other thinks about it. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, it was amazing.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, why did you do that to me? Sometimes you do stuff like that. You're like, oh yeah, The Mummy was good.
The Mummy was good. Tune into the Flicker and Myth podcast for more of that discussion. No, dude, it was awesome. It was a great match.
I forgot what we were talking about then. I thought we were still talking about The Mummy.
No,
it was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, I was going to defer to you as well for you to, because you're the New Japan guy. You're super into New Japan at the moment.
I am, but I would not call me the New Japan guy.
Of the two of us,
okay,
you are, because I've so far I've watched Wrestle Kingdom in January, and I've watched the main event of Dominion. I actually haven't had a chance to catch up with any of the shows in between.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a surprise to me to learn that Billy Gunn was on the card.
Bullet Club.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to hearing your breakdown of this, knowing the feud going in and knowing the two guys.
Well, I've only watched the big shows, of course, Wrestle Kingdom, and then there was New Beginnings, just all the big ones, and then you've got like the sort of house shows in between where nothing really is advanced. So what's that like? In the last 6 months, probably 8 shows, maybe. This Dominion being the most recent. I just thought this was incredible. For everybody who hasn't seen it so far, obviously spoilers if you don't want to. I somehow managed to watch it 2 days after it happened, completely spoiler-free.
Oh, man, I got it spoiled for me.
Did you?
Well, okay, I didn't have the ending spoiled.
Before you do...
Yeah.
Spoiler warning from now on, because we're going to talk about the ending. If you want to watch this incredible match...
And it is an incredible match.
Now we're going to talk about what happened. Carry on.
So I had heard, because Cody's going to be challenging for the championship, and it was I think someone on Twitter said, like, what has Cody done to face Okada for the championship? And Cody responded, was like, well, I'm Cody.
Yeah.
And that was his response, which was great. So I knew that Okada retained, but I didn't know it was going to a time limit draw, which was, what a great... And it was that moment of Okada crawling across the mat as the 10 seconds was being counted down. Yeah. And I genuinely thought that he was going to get to the pin.
I thought it was going to be a 1, 2, and then the time runs out.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad they didn't do that, because that would have been too... obviously not definitive, but it would have... Kenny looks so much better this way than he would have in that respect.
Some really, really great stuff in this.
Yeah.
I had a really nice slow build. like and it told a really great story. There was some really good leg work at the start of it, and then as the match kind of builds up, you had the Bullet Club come down with Cody wanting to throw the towel in for Kenny Omega, which I thought is a great storyline perspective between Cody and Omega, and then you had like the Young Bucks trying to stop him from throwing. There was some wonderful character moments in there, and then yeah, man, Okada. I mean, his selling is incredible. The pair of them, though, they were like it was when he went to do the Rainmaker and Okada just collapsed. Omega just collapsed.
That was the best. So I watched it like 2 p.m. yesterday with my lady partner. She did not know it was going to go an hour, so she was a bit annoyed. She just read something as we were watching it, and she kind of tuned out after a while. Her exact words were, I thought there would be more production. There were no fireworks. And there wasn't that much high stuff. And I said, there was!
Yeah.
The guy jumped, did a moonsault off the top rope.
What balance he showed there as well.
Jesus,
like, because he nearly lost
incredible.
that. It was nearly Sabu-esque.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Omega and Sabu are very different levels.
But the bit we're talking about, that spot, is Okada goes for the Rainmaker, but Kenny is so tired. This is in like the 55th minute. Omega just faints. And as he faints, perfectly timed, Okada's Rainmaker goes over his head.
Yeah.
And like Okada's so tired as well, so he collapses the other side, and it's just like both these guys. Good. And when that happened, I just went, oh my God, I've never seen them before. Like I couldn't really talk properly. I was yelping and just making weird primal sounds.
Some of Okada's Okada's drop kicks.
Oh, they're the best.
Just the best. The drop kick into the sit out power bomb was I've never seen anything like it. It was an incredible spot. Like it was stunning. So I mean, we could talk about like the spots individually, but I suppose the big question, and I suppose what everyone's really talking about at the moment, was it better than Wrestle Kingdom?
Okay, so I was thinking about this. I think this is a Back to the Future. Right. So, Back to the Future, the first movie, fantastic.
5-star film.
Brilliant film. I love it. Back to the Future 2, for me, even better.
Yeah?
Slightly better. But can you say Back to the Future 2 is a better film than Back to the Future? Because Back to the Future 2 needs Back to the Future 1 to exist.
Because there was a lot of stuff within the match that was building off the Wrestle Kingdom stuff. Like a lot of the spots that they built up to doing like the Tiger Suplex off the top. They brought the table out again, only this time it was... And they actually, the table spot was built around them possibly doing the
dragon suplex off the top.
Yeah, or no, the backdrop over the the rope through the table. So like there was a lot of stuff in there that was built around telling a story from the first match, which was wonderful because they didn't repeat any spots. It was just they told a story like they might do, but either guy knew better than to fall for it for a second time.
The comment, I've listened to the English commentary, Kevin Kelly and Don Callis.
Very great.
The way they were talking about stuff, the sports presentation of it, not the sports entertainment way, but the just saying Kenny Omega's put on 15 pounds for this match because he felt he wasn't big enough for the first match to get past Okada, but now he can. He's got that few pounds extra muscle to help him through. Bits like that, but it really is. It is so closely interwoven with the first match that you can't say one really fairly. You can't say this is better than the other one because really they are a beautiful whole.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, I'm going to just play. We've got to play the
devil's advocate.
Well, we've got to be the star ratings here. What is Dave Meltzer going to give this in the Wrestling Observer newsletter?
He hasn't given it yet. I think he will have by the time this.
By the time this video will come out, but by the time we're recording this, the newsletter's not out yet. It'll be out, I think, tomorrow. So, I mean, is it going to be another 6-star match? I feel like this has to be because I said after Wrestle Kingdom that match was absolutely incredible. I don't think it's the greatest match I've ever seen, though. I don't think it was worthy of the 6-star accolade. The newly formed 6-star accolade. Do you know there's people who claim that he was paid off to give it an extra star? Like, it's so ridiculous. But yeah, like I'm not sure it was really that 6-star accolade, but I do think this almost was because this was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, this match was incredible.
Yeah.
And I do think it was better than the Wrestle Kingdom match. But you're right, like you need both to work.
Okay, yeah, so I slightly prefer Back to the Future 2, but I recognise that Back to the Future 2 can't work. It wouldn't work. I wouldn't love it as much without the stuff in Back to the Future 1.
Absolutely.
It's the exact same here. I prefer this match. Purely from... So I was loving it. I thought it was a really... because you have those long bits of technical or slow bits or working over a body part. And then you have big move.
Yeah.
And it's nicely punctuated. And I mean, that's really how you do a 60-minute match. You can't go balls to the wall for the whole thing. But then 35 minutes in and Omega is just really... He's taking all those Rainmakers.
Yeah.
And then the Bullet Club come down. Cody's trying to throw in the towel. And I'm like... Oh God, this just got incredible. Yeah. And then when the Young Bucks stop him from throwing in the towel, and Cody's like, no, he's not
shouting,
genuinely concerned.
Look at him.
And the rest of the Bullet Club are like, no, you got to throw in the towel. The Young Bucks, only people are saying, no, don't. We let him do this. He has to do this. And then Okada gets up and Omega, I can't remember, does he hit him with the knee? The V trigger? Yeah, hits him straight with a V trigger. And the Bullet Club are actually like, oh God, he's going to do it. Yeah. And they get all of them round the ring, banging the mat. And I'm just like,
oh, man. So good.
And then from then on, it was just these two guys. And there was a moment where Omega could have pinned Okada. I can't remember what it was off of.
Yes,
but
it was off another V trigger,
like the 20th V trigger. That's the new Rainmaker in this match. But then Don Callis is screaming, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to beat him with the
One Wing Angel.
One Wing Angel, and he picks him up for the One Wing Angel, but Okada gets out of it. And you could have won.
Do you know what was great about that commentary as well? Because Don Callis is there, like screaming, like he wants to pin him with the One Wing Angel, and you got Kevin Kelly saying, like he should have pinned him. He should have pinned him. And there was a moment then when Okada hit him with a drop kick. And he was out. And you've then got Kevin Kelly screaming like, pin him. And I know you got Don Callis screaming like, pin him. And Kevin Kelly's like, he wants to pin him with his move because he picks him up to do the Rainmaker. And Omega reverses it again. Oh, the commentary was so in sync with what was going on in the ring. It was so great.
It really, and so full disclosure, we recorded the Best of 2017 So Far awards
before we'd seen the match
on Sunday as the match was going on.
As the match was going on, yeah.
So, I mean, I think, this is my favourite match of the year so far.
Yeah, it would have been in my top 5. Yeah, it would have been in my top 5. I'm not actually. Yeah. Oh, is it? Do I prefer? I got so into that Pete Dunne match though.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, mate.
I don't think there's even any debate. I can't.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, because obviously this is going to go to a third match. The story here really, and the Wrestling Observer Radio really nicely told this, because I didn't quite pick up on this. I was like, oh yeah, this is another way you could read it. Is back in Wrestle Kingdom, Okada is this fresh champion, and he beats Kenny Omega. Took him to the limit, but 45 minutes. But then Okada has just been taking these punishing matches month after month against Suzuki, against Shibata, and now his body's broken down and Kenny Omega's built himself up. So although Omega still can't beat Okada, he can take him to the limit. He can take him to 60 minutes, and Okada's been beaten down by all these other things. So now the next match, it's like there.
Yeah.
So Omega could. Now, there is an interesting way they could go with this, playing off the Rhodes thing. Again, this isn't I didn't come up with this. This was Meltzer and Alvarez. And have you heard this?
No, I've not. I started listening to the Wrestling Observer Radio, but something came up and I had to stop.
So Cody Rhodes has the next title shot against Okada.
Cody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Don't sue me. At the Long Beach shows. And using that idea that Okada has just been beaten up, and now his body isn't functioning properly, if Cody now pins Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title before Omega gets that, and you're like, oh my God, dissension in the Bullet Club, Omega's like,
you stole my moment.
But he didn't steal his moment. Like, you can't be angry at the guy. Cody would have beaten him, and then maybe Cody gets cocky and Omega's like, there are so many storytelling directions you can go with, and this is what you don't usually get in WWE. There are so many places they can go. I like the look of all of them, but they're probably going to pull something else out and make it even better.
Okay, so here's where I do think that New Japan has definitely got the edge on WWE, amongst many other things, is that this whole thing feels like it has been planned out from like, probably last year, they were like, okay, here's what we're going to do at Wrestle Kingdom. Here's what we're going to do at this show. Here's what we're going to do at Dominion. Here's what we'll do at the Long Beach shows. And we'll just run this angle out now until the end of the year. Whereas WWE were just like, okay, cool, what are we doing this week? Yeah, we're putting the title on Jinder. Right, what we do? And then you put the title on Jinder. Cool, what are we doing next? And then you to
an extent, they know what Roman's doing.
I don't. Yeah, well, yeah, next year they do. That's about it. But that was it was Vince Russo used to say that about Vince when they used to work with Vince McMahon during the Attitude Era. Vince and Ed Ferreira would come in with their scripts for here's what every wrestler is going to do, and Vince would just say, I don't care, what's Austin doing? And they were like, okay, well, here's what's Austin doing. He's like, brilliant, I trust you with the rest of it. And then that was it.
Man, I wish he was like that these days. It makes sense though. You're the head of a massive corporation. This is your money-making guy. Just tell me this guy's going to be fine. I trust you with the rest. That's called delegation. Yeah. I wish he was like that. But anything more to say on Okada versus Omega 2?
Just check it out. Find a way. Subscribe to New Japan World and it's well worth it. I'm one of the reasons that cause I'm going to be starting here at WrestleTalk full time very soon. Yes. And one of the things I'm most excited about is I'll now finally have time to get into New Japan. Yeah. Every year I watch Wrestle Kingdom and I'm like, this is the year I'm going to get into New Japan. This is the year I'm going to do it. And every year I don't because I'm like, I haven't got time to watch 6-hour shows. So I'm like, okay, but now is my time.
It's like in 10 years, people will look back on this year and the year before maybe, and hopefully the next few years to come as go, that was a golden age of wrestling. Yeah. In New Japan. Like how people talk fondly about women's wrestling in the early 90s over in Japan, or, I don't know, other places that I can't now remember a single promotion ever. But, this is something special we're living through right now. Yeah. So comment in the comments. God damn it.
That was nearly smooth.
Think of a better way to say right stuff below.
Hashtag swat.
About your opinions for Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega. But that's all we've got time for this week. We won't have a proper show next week because obviously I'm off to Glastonbury, but we will have those best of 2017 so far awards, 5 categories, 5 different videos, and we've got Luke doing a few pre-produced things as well.
I've got a couple of videos going up. Is both going up, or is it just
both
the one?
Will go up.
Both are going up over the weekend, so you'll have those to enjoy. We won't talk about what they are now, so we'll just give that as a nice tease.
Super cool. That's super cool.
Yeah.
But yes, for now, oh man, my brain's broken. Okada and Omega broke my brain. The videos have just appeared over Luke's face. Click the top one to go and watch the latest WrestleTalk news, or the one beneath it for the WrestleRamble. Of course, support WrestleTalk on Patreon. Press subscribe. This has been Luke Owen. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was WrestleRambling.